new ticker set up for tonight. We've got commercials set up for tonight. If you look at the stream right now,
Nice.
we've got commercials going and they look good. Already got 8 viewers and we haven't even started.
Nice. How much time till we go live?
The session goes up in 3 minutes.
Okay.
I see. I
And
thought
it's
the
just right from the get-go.
I don't
to a
know.
race?
I thought it'd be, you know,
Okay.
like, already there. So I rushed
Right.
home to get here, and then like
And it's not there, yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, alright then.
I wonder if they want us in their team speak. I'm gonna have to look.
Yeah, that's a good question. Pretty sure we're doing interviews.
There's, they've got the lineups there.
Okay.
But I'll send you the link to TeamSpeak. It should be in the lobby chat.
Alright. I'll look at it.
Alright, we've got 10 minutes warm-up times. And no heat. So we still got a little bit of time to get everything set up.
Right.
Welcome one, welcome all. You are here for Oktoberfest at Lanier Speedway. We've got a lot of big names here in the field, and up in the booth we've got Steve Bonesteel and Shane Doherty bringing you the action from Checkered Flag Interactive. And Shane, I'm pretty excited about tonight. We've got 3 different races here. We'll be here until about 10, I do think, and it's going to be a lot of fun all night long, and I'm really excited for this. But I'll let you run through the top 5, top 10 here before we get this race started, and let's have a good night.
Yeah, it's your top 10 starting grid. Jared Boreos is on the pole for tonight's event. Alongside him, Heath Smith, Derek Holzhausen, along with Jeff Inderbitsen is going to be on the second row. The third row consists of TJ Graves and Kyle Holzhausen. And 7th is Paul Boleswell, along with Anthony Mahone. 9th, Anthony Celataneo with Colin Hallahan.
And it is looking like it's going to be a lot of fun here, but the pace car lights are off, Shane, and we are ready to take the green flag for some short track racing here. on October 12th, 2014. Green flag is in the air.
Good start by Jared Boreos as he is closely followed by Heath Smith as they will go single file into turn number 3. It's a very short track here at Lanier. It's not even half a mile, and they lap around this place under 18 seconds easily.
150 laps here will go by in a flash, Shane, and right now we've got every driver running pretty clean, I'd say right now. We've got some too wide battling here between the number 22 of TJ Graves, and he's got the number 36 on his outside there. He's going to fall in behind him in line. The first top 5 are now single file here as we go around the track, and that inside line looks pretty strong early on. But I got a feeling as the race goes on, if a driver can get close enough to that left quarter panel, they might be able to make the outside line work. But right now we've got the number 46. Jared's moved up into that lead there, and he's got the number 2, Heath Smith. He's trying to chase him down, but it looks right now he's not arcing the corners as much as the leader is right there, and he is not able to get through the corner quite as well as the number 46. So early on, it doesn't look like he's got the fastest car, but there's such a long race. These short track races are just so long when it comes to racing. So we're going to have to see and watch closely here because it's going to be a tight battle all night long.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys starting to just get used to the line, save their stuff up. It is 150 laps. No need to go beat doors off this early in the race. As fun as it would sound, it's just a long way to go. You cannot afford to tear your stuff up this early in the event.
Yeah, definitely not. And I mean, like I said early on before we even got the race started, there are a lot of big names up in the field, and actually all night long. After this, we've got I do believe after this we have the super late models, and then to wrap up the night we have the Nationals car, the old B car, or the old Nationwide car that is, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and all 3 of these cars are pretty similar when it comes to how they race here, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. Right now you are watching the late models, in case you did not know, and the number 46 there, he's leading in front of the number 2 of Heath Smith and trying to break away, but he's not having much luck. The number 2 is not giving up early on, but there is plenty of racing left.
Yeah, starting to see Heath Smith close in a little bit. He's not able to get the bumper underneath that time. He's driving it in a lot harder than Jared Boreos is at the moment, but Jared seems a little bit stronger off the corner. They are approaching a lap car of Ryan Borges. He is 1 lap down, in danger of going 2 laps down, but he is actually running a pretty decent pace out here with the leaders. So it will be interesting to see if he can get his lap back and maybe get to the front here.
As we adjust the screen a little bit there, the number 46, he's got the iRacing logos on that car, and a lot of these cars just look pretty similar to each other. Right now, the first one that seems to stand out is right there in 3rd.
Yeah, that's Derek Holzhausen in the Danger Den Chevrolet. That's actually a Ford, never mind. It's very easy to mix up these late models. All have the same body style. It's just the logo. You have to look forward to determine the make. But he is currently running 3rd and closely following Jared Boreos and Heath Smith.
Yeah, looking through the field, we've got the battle here that just dissolved from 6th place, the number 787, Kyle Holzhausen. He got passed by the number 6, and it was a really strong pass. The number 36 just dove down there, but the 787 is just not giving up actually now, back on that inside. So short track racing has a lot of different aspects to it, and one thing you always do see is either some chrome horn or a little bit of crossing over and really just getting, I'd like to call it intimate with the other driver that you're racing against. As you see there on your screen, the number 36 gets up all just a little bit there. At a short track, this is really different from pretty much anything that we've covered for a while here. We get super speedways, and half miles are way different from a super speedway, especially here in these short track cars. They are designed to do a little bit of beating and banging. They are designed to race like this, and it's a great race so far. No cautions, no wrecks so far. All these drivers just really preserving their stuff early on. There's going to be at least one pit stop in this race, if not two. So I definitely predict for a lot of things to change, and right now the 46, Jared is still your leader there, and he's got the number 2 Heath Smith behind him, and we'll have to see how it plays out for the lead. They've got that lap down car. Ryan Borges, I do believe, is right there, and excuse me, it's not Ryan Borges right in front of it. It's number 93 of Douglas Nelson. He is letting the leaders by to go one lap down for the first time.
Yeah, it looks like that car spin around is the 06 car as Anthony Mahone running in the top 10. He has gone around in turn number 2, and the first caution of the night is over. And we will see the official pace car here for tonight's events. The number 38 pace car. It's the Mazda Miata, as you guys might know it. And it is the pace car for tonight's events, and it will be pacing the field under this first caution.
And there on your screen, the replay is up. You just saw the number 92 get in there a little bit too hot and just dove it underneath of the 06. And Anthony Mahone just had nowhere to go. He ended up going right around. And but like you said, Shane, that's the first caution of the night, and we are now under caution. And something you don't see every day here. We can't actually bring the yellow flag up for you since it's not actually being called, but they've got the Miata running around the field there and pacing the field under caution for the first time here.
Yeah, they're not using the iRacing officiating to officiate tonight's events. They actually have live admins coordinating all these events, so when a caution comes out, they have to make sure the field order is right based on the time of caution, and then they get everyone together, and then we'll get back to racing. It's a neat way to control the cautions. It takes a lot of work, but it's a cool thing to see here. Looks like the free pass will be the 93 of Douglas Nelson as he will work his way around the field, the pace car, and now will rejoin the back half of the field.
Now it does appear like we will be one to go here. 33 laps into this race. The field is doubled up here. And now we are ready to take the green flag. I do predict for that Honda, or excuse me, not the Honda, the Mazda, to pull down pit road momentarily here. And we will once again get the official green flag to go racing. The number 46 is still your leader here tonight. And the number 2 is on his outside for this restart. So Heath's got a good chance of getting somewhere on this restart now that he's right there up next to him once again. But if he lets him get away, I think that 46 got that bottom line pretty set and ready to go. But we are racing once again.
Good start by Jared Barrios once again. Heath Smith falls in behind. The battle is for third between TJ Graves and Derek Holzhausen, and they are still side by side as we get the first lap after the restart.
And that 46 is just looking strong so far early on. And he got a good start there, and the field behind him is just going nuts racing for position out here. We've got drivers all over just trying to get to the bottom, trying to get to the faster line. The 787 there, Kyle Holzhausen, is stuck up on the outside again, battling with that number 36, getting into that outside wall just a little bit here. No harm, no foul. Stuck on that outside line. It's much like it feels like when you're at Martinsville and you just can't get down on that inside line. You know you're fast, you know you're good, you just can't quite get down there to get the run.
Biggest mover of the race so far early on is the 29 of Dale Owen. He's moved up 5 spots from 13th to 8th. And he is currently working behind Jeff Interbitson and Kyle Holzhausen. As all they make contact, the 787 into the wall.
Dang, the 787 did get a lot of right side damage there, Shane. Not sure if he's going to be okay or not. If it knocked the toe out, he could be in trouble and he could be in need of some major repairs. But he did get knocked up into that wall, and that is just the struggle that you have to have when you're out on that outside line. But now that we join the battle back up front, these two drivers are still going at it, Shane. 41 to 42 laps into this race now. That number 46 is just staying strong in the lead.
Yeah, we're almost a third through this race, coming up very closely here in about 10 laps. But I've noticed this run, Jared and Heath are strong, but Derek Holzhausen in the 87 really has fallen off from these guys compared to the first run. He was within a second through the entire 30-lap opening run, and this time he hasn't been able to hang with them. He's about a second and a half back, only about half a second in front of TJ Graves for the 4th spot.
And while we have a chance, we would like to remind you fans at home that this is the Major League Sim Racing Oktober Fest event here. We've got 3 classes of cars for 2 days. Yesterday they had their first 3 races, and now we've got another set of races here. These drivers just having a great weekend, and the top 8 can get their entry fee back just by finishing in the top 8. So it's just a lot of fun, and like I said early on, there are a lot of big names in the field, so I'm thinking that not only is this race going to be an exciting one all the way to the checkered flag, Shane, it's going to be a fun night altogether.
Yeah, we got a lot of good racing set up here at the Lanier National Speedway for tonight, and we're under the lights. I think something we haven't seen at Lanier since iRacing added the nighttime feature. This track looks really good at night, and we are seeing that out here tonight.
And you see, it's just so hard to make up ground here with these cars being pretty equal, as we are now under caution once again, pulling up the replay to see what happened there. Not sure what the caution was for, Shane. I must have missed it. Unless they are having...
Looking for it.
I do believe they might be having a caution at lap 50 here. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Actually, we had a car turned around. It was lap 50, the 787 of Kyle Holzhausen went around and then got right back going, but they called a caution. So that is why this caution has come out.
Well, while we have the opportunity, we're going to tune it off real quick to our first set of commercials for the night. Don't go away. There'll be more from Lanier in just a moment from Checkered Flag Interactive. And we are back here at Lanier. We are doubled up once again behind the Miata pace car. And we are set and ready to take the second green flag of the night. Second caution, I guess you would call it. We had 2 early spins, not too much damage to either car. The 787 got his damage from previous incident with the wall. He tried to fight the wall, and he did lose. He did have some help there, but unfortunate for him. But the pace car will be pulling off, and we will be taking the green flag. Green is out once again here at Lanier.
Looks like a clean start all around the field. Jared Boreos, once again, he's been on it on the restarts, and he continues to lead. Now we're starting to see the 22 of TJ Graves really starting to come to life here. He took over that 3rd spot from, that was the 87 Derek Halshausen before. He's now in 3rd. He's right behind Heath Smith, challenging for that spot.
And for those of you just now tuning in, remember that this is the first of 3 races we've got here tonight on Checkered Flag Interactive. And it's all going to be a fun and exciting night. A lot of big names, as we've said throughout the night, in all of the fields. And I really think that this is going to be just so much fun here, Shane. And early on, we're already having some great racing. This number 46 Boreos there in front of the number 2. Smith, and that number 2 is just not quite getting to his bumper, and I think they're about equal on speed. It's just with that same line that everyone has to run, they just can't quite get there.
Yeah, being really a one-groove, one-dimensional track, you have to be on that dotted yellow line to be fast, and if you're not using the full potential that your car has, and it does make it tough to pass. The only way to really make a pass at Lanier is get power off the corner, try and get underneath someone, force them up the track. Haven't been able to see that tonight because Jared Boreos has been so strong, and Heath Smith has been really right there, but just not good enough to make a move.
But with this race still not even quite halfway, while it is going by pretty fast, there is still just tons of racing left here tonight. And I'm sure as these drivers go on, they've got the big picture in their head that they do need to make it all the way, and the caution is out just as I say that.
Looks like the caution comes on the 64th lap for the 24 car of Ryan Borges. A car has gone around in turn number 2.
Just catching the tail end of it there. Ryan Borges and that number 24 going around, coming through the corner.
Also want to document on the previous caution, 29 Dale Owen, the 787 of Kyle Oshausen. And then also another car that was Garrett Stobar. Those 3 cars came down pit road and actually got 4 tires and fuel under the previous caution, and they have made their way up. Garrett's running 10th. Kyle is back up there in 8th, and Dale Owen up to 7th from 13 starting spot. He continues to impress.
But right now, the class of the field is still that number 46 of Boreos there, and he has not shown any weakness early on in this race. And I mean, of course, as we've said, there's plenty of racing left, but early on, he's been the class of the field there, using that inside line all the way around the track, which really is the fast way around. But he has not given it up once, and I got a feeling if he can stick to what he's been doing, he won't give it up at all this entire race, and he might need a little bit of help giving that bottom line up.
97 Paul Boswell makes a pit stop under the caution, the only car to come down pit road, and he will rejoin the field in 14th.
And here the field is once again doubled up. We will be taking the green flag. And Shane, what do you think we're going to see? These first 3 restarts we saw have been pretty timid. Do you think that'll be the case here as well?
Still not halfway. I think these guys are still going to kind of take it easy, but if you're going to want to beat Jared Boreos, you're going to have to beat him on this restart, and I just don't see it happening. He has been the strong guy.
Well, we will see here, Shane, because we are green, green, green once again. And we've got these drivers. The number 22, we haven't seen him up anywhere higher than third so far. TJ Graves is moving to the inside of the number 2. Heath Smith got stuck up on that high side on this restart, and now he is not going anywhere. The number 22 is underneath him here, and they are battling for second place. But the number 22, TJ Graves, he's pretty much got it. If he can stick where he is right there, he is racing him hard. But this is allowing the number 46 to really start to get away, and he's already got over a second of a lead on these second, third, and fourth place drivers right there.
Yeah, the two of Heath Smith's not going to give up easy. There's a long freight train on the bottom of cars, and Heath is not giving easy as he needs to get back in line or he's going to lose quite a few spots. He's already back to third. Now he's battling Anthony Celentano for that fourth spot, and they are still side by side. He's got to get to the bottom if he's going to want to fall in line here.
And we're going to continue watching the number 2, Heath Smith. If he can get that car down to the bottom, he might be able to make up some ground. But passing is really hard here, and getting down to the bottom of the track seems to be really hard here. And the 787, Kyle Holzhausen, he was involved in that last caution as the caution comes out once again.
I believe this is the halfway break we're going to get here.
And yes, Shane, we are now halfway, and we've got our halfway, I guess you could call it a competition caution here at Lanier. And for the first time tonight, we are really taking a break and taking a look at what's going on. We'll update you guys on everyone's in the standings if you want to do that, Shane.
Yeah, currently your leader, Jared Boreos, running second, TJ Graves. The 77, Anthony Celentano is third. Fourth, Heath Smith. Fifth is Jeff Interpret Bitson. Sixth is Kyle Holzhausen. He's back up there after being involved in an early wreck. Dale Owen is still seventh. Garrett Stobar is eighth. Anthony Malone is ninth. Derek Holzhausen has fallen to 10th from the third starting spot. Paul Boswell is back there in 11th. Ryan Borges is back on the lead lap. He is 12th. Colin Callahan is 13th, and Douglas Nelson, the final car on the lead lap and in the race, in 14th.
This battle off of pit road will be interesting. The number 22, TJ Graves, will be the first car off. Looks like he took 2 tires there on that pit stop, and the number 46, while he was the leader and he was pretty fast there, he is not going to be the leader when we come back out here. So pretty interesting there on the start. And we'll have to see if this number 97 and the number 22, if they'll be able to stick up towards the front. The field is now doubling up, and we are stopped on the back of the track. And for a quick moment here, and the pace car is going to start rolling, and the field will follow.
22 of TJ Graves, 2 tires is going to put him in the lead. The 97 of Paul Boswell made a previous pit stop on the previous caution, made a pit stop, 4 tires and fuel. That elected for him this time to only take fuel. Fuel only stopped under this caution, and he's now going to be outside the front row. Kyle Holzhausen and Dale Owen, 2 cars that also pitted before this caution. They didn't take 4 tires. The first car that's going to be on those 4 tires, I believe, is going to be Jared Boreos.
So we will see how this restart plays out, and we'll be taking the green flag momentarily here once again at Lanier. The field is doubled up. The number 22, who made it all the way up to second place there on that last run, he is now sitting in the lead on that inside line, and the leader that was up there, the number 46, he is sitting 2 rows back on the inside line. At least he's on the inside line, he's probably telling himself, but right now he's not in the lead, so he's got a little bit of work if he wants to get back up there.
Yeah, this is the first big challenge for the 46 of Jared Boreos. He's back there in 6th, actually 7th. He's actually 5th, excuse me, so we'll see how he can do here as the restart's on.
The 97 got a solid restart there, and he's going to come right down in front of the 787 and go right around, and he's going to save it, but not the other guys behind him.
Huge wreck in the back. This is a several car, multi-car pile-up. This is probably the biggest wreck of the night by far. Caution's out.
trying to look at what happened mid-pack. They started checking up, and they just really had nowhere to go. With these short tracks the way they are, they just get blocked so quickly, and everyone tries to keep out of the wreck, and they just can't really do it. We'll take a look from above what happened on the restart to the 787. And we're coming through the corner right here. The pace car is just about to dive in. The 22 gets away. The 97 knows he's got to get to that inside line ASAP. He does the best he can, but he leaves it open, and the 787 starts to take it. And then they collide, and then around a few more drivers go, and then more drivers collide into that. And within a matter of time, just a bunch of drivers are involved in a early wreck here and taking out a lot of cars.
Yeah, the car I see that got the worst of that was the 36 of Jeff Interbitson. He was going high. The 77 got tagged by Heath Smith, came up into the 36 of Jeff, and Jeff ended up going like head on in the wall almost at like 50 miles an hour. That definitely had to hurt, and that car's done. That's going to be the end of his night.
We rode on board there on the gyro cam riding with him, and like you said, Shane, it was a pretty hard hit, and unfortunately that will put a damper on his run here tonight. TJ Graves is still your leader.
Yeah, this whole sequence of events has really benefited TJ Graves. He's actually one of those cars who was running in the top three when the halfway point came, so he's got the speed to stay up there. But Jared Boreos, his biggest competitor, I'd say, from here on out, is in third. It's going to be right behind him on the restart. But Dale Owen, continue to talk about him, started 13th up to second. That car is showing some life. It's going to bring us down to 12 cars in the lead lap as Anthony Celentino just barely beats the pace car off pit road. There's going to be quite a few damaged cars at this point out on the track.
And it's going to be interesting now that the 46 is on that inside row. In the second row, he's going to have a pretty solid starting spot on this restart here. The pace car will be going around one more time. We'll be taking the green flag once again here at Lanier. We've got just over 60 laps of racing left, and we've got plenty of action left here tonight. So if you're just tuning in to Checkered Flag Interactive, you've got Steve Bonesteel, Shane Doherty up in the booth, and it's looking like we are going to have another exciting restart, and the rest of the race is looking to be a solid one. Pace car will be pulling off. The field is looking for the 22 to get going, and he is away once again. Green flag.
Yeah, good start by TJ Graves. Jared Boreos looking to the inside of Dale Owen for the second spot as Dale gets into the wall a little bit there. Looks like everyone's going to sort it out single file.
Yeah, everyone knows better than to stay 2 and 3 wide and race it too hard. On that restart a couple times ago, the 46 was able to break away from the field there when everyone was battling for second place. So now that he's got the 22 in front of him, TJ Graves is definitely hoping to keep that car up there in the lead, but that 46 has been the leader for the majority of the race. And he led 76 laps there on that first bit of the race, and now he is still trying to get around him. He's got 4 tires. The 22 does not. So now that he's to his bumper, we're just going to have to see as he dives down to that inside line. Is the 22 going to let him get it? It's going to be close. It's going to be a battle. The 46 wiggles a little bit there, and the 22 will clear him once again. But the battle is not over. Don't think for a second that it is.
Yeah, Jared Boreos caught a glimpse of the apron there, and he kind of had to slow down to correct his car. He's back going, but he's going to have to try again as TJ Graves continues to lead. But don't look now. Here comes the 2 of Heath Smith right back, storming back. after getting hung out before the halfway caution, almost got involved in the wreck. And he's back up here in 4th, and yes, folks, he's still very fast.
And it looks like the 22 is holding these guys up just a little bit here at the beginning of the field. The 22's got the 46 repeatedly looking to make the pass, and it looks like he will dive down there. The 22 might be thinking about making the crossover. It's not going to happen. And now that he's lost that lead, he's going to have to retain second place because these drivers behind him, especially the car right behind him there, Shane, Dale Owen, as you said all night long, he is looking strong. The 22 sideways there coming off the corner. He's got to be careful of burning off those back tires. And coming through 3 and 4 again. And the 22 is holding these guys up. And look at that, the number 2, Heath Smith, already up through the field, fighting there for 3rd and 4th place. And it's a battle right now. This number 2 was involved in that last caution and barely scraped through with a little bit of damage. And he's all the way back up to 3rd now, looking to get that 2nd spot away and chase down the leaders.
Yeah, I want to update you on another driver, Ryan Borges. Remember, he spun out before, so lap down and some damage. They've got all that fixed. He's back in the lead lap. He's back up into 4th now, and he is charging to the front.
And we have 50 laps to go here as they cross the line at Lanier for the Major League Sim Racing Oktoberfest event. 3 classes of cars, 3 different races here tonight. And these feature races, again, Shane, have a lot of big names in them. And you've got Checkered Flag Interactive here bringing you the action. Your one and only source for good, quality, affordable broadcasting on iRacing. If you need something broadcasted, check us out. We can get it done. Very flexible. We will work with you. But we'll quit talking about that right now as we continue to watch this number 22. And I think he's really got that number 2 held up behind him. Heath Smith is just, that Gale Force Monte Carlo is looking fast. It's just he's got the number 22 right where he needs to be in that low line, and he just can't get the run that he needs to get around him.
Yeah, he's trying ever so slightly, just cannot get the nose underneath him, and if you can't get the nose underneath him, you're not going to be able to make the pass. And he's struggling a little bit, but he's still holding his ground in 3rd. He's not giving up to Ryan Borges, who continues to challenge. So I don't know, we'll have to see here, but I can tell you TJ Graves is definitely everything he's got out of those 2 tires.
And while it might sound like I'm hating on him here and that he's holding these guys up, he's doing a great job running that car. In reality, as long as you're not wrecking anybody or getting too much in the way, if you're doing all you can to stay up in the lead, if that's what you got to do to win, then more power to you here. But now that the 24 and the 2 are on his inside, I don't think he'll be able to really maintain that position. He's going to drop into 4th place here behind the number 24. He's going to do the crossover. He's going to complete it. It does not look like it that number 24's got the run off the corner. He's going to keep that inside line here, but the 24, Ryan Borges, he is just a matter of time from getting, as the 22 gets loose there, he will clear him, and now the 24 has cleared the 22 for 3rd place.
Yeah, Ryan Borges coming right up to the front here in the closing stages of the race, but this is do or die time, I'd say, for Heath Smith. He's got to start clicking off some fast lap times if he's going to have a chance at Jared Boreos. They ran together that whole first 3rd of the race, and now you've got to get to him and have a chance if he wants to win tonight.
We'll go up in the blimp and take a look at if we can get a look at how big that gap is, and it's just half of a corner here, which is about of a full second of a gap. And that number 2, Heath Smith, he looks pretty strong. He just does not get the same run that Jared gets off the corners. And he's got about 35 laps to make an adjustment to his line, but if he doesn't getting to the driver in front of you is one thing, making the pass is another. And right now he's not catching him, he's just maintaining. So we'll just have to see if he can really get up there, but the 46 is looking strong as he was early on in the race, and he might have exactly what he needs to get to victory lane here tonight, Shane, and we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, he's definitely doing everything in his control. Talking about Jared Boreos, and he's actually going to be coming up on some lap traffic here soon. Anthony Mahone, he's in a damaged 06 car, and Colin Callahan's also got some damage to his car there, within half a lap of going down to the leader of Jared Boreos. And Heath Smith is coming, though. He's racking up some good lap times and really starting to close in on Jared Boreos. It's going to be a matter of time, I'd say, before he's there. And also Ryan Borges, he's clicking off some good lap times too. This very well could be a 3-car battle for the win.
And we've got the number 97 around on the inside there. And the caution is out, Paul Boswell. And that number 97, he did go around on that inside line. We'll pull up the replay for you.
Looks like he clipped the apron there coming out of turn 2. Not the first car we've seen clip the apron, not the first car we've seen spin out of turn number 2, but he gets it back going. No harm, no foul. He looks like he has some pretty good damage, though, to that left front. That perhaps came at a different point in the race, but that possibly could have contributed to that.
And here with just about 32 laps to go, the number 46 is still on the inside on this restart, assuming he does not pit, which I don't think that he will. The number 2, Heath Smith, will be on his outside here on this restart. And it's going to be an interesting restart for sure now that these guys are once again put up next to each other. But we're going to take a second and head off to a quick commercial break. Don't go away. Checkered Flag Interactive will be right back from Lanier Motor Speedway. Bringing it back to you once again. We'll have about 25 laps to go here on this restart. Shane, we are ready to see possibly what could be the final restart of the race. What do you expect here on this start?
Well, if you're going to bring it, if you're Heath Smith and Ryan Borges, the time is now. Jared Boreos has been leading most of this race. He's the control car on the restart. Inside 30 laps to go, and we get the green. Something's got to happen if we're going to see someone else win here tonight.
And the 46 gets off and away. The number 2 is not wasting any time getting down to the bottom line. He will be looking at that back bumper there of the number 46. Propane Plus is what he's reading, but he's not thinking about propane right now. He just wants that victory so bad here, and he's got a lot on his shoulders if he wants to get around this number 46, who has been the class of the field all night long here at Lanier. The 46 just seems to be a little bit better on the start of the run, but the number 2, once he gets into that rhythm, the number 2, Heath Smith, he just starts to chase him down, and he almost gets to him, and just by the time he gets to him, it's just too late. But the caution is coming out again.
The back straightaway here. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Steve. You got a huge wreck on the back straightaway, involves multiple cars.
Looks like the number 32 got the worst of it here. We're going to pull up the replay, see what happens as the number 32, we're focusing on him going through 1 and 2 right there. And he slips up a little bit and gets into the number 88 of Colin and Hallahan, and just sends him around and sends himself around with him, and that's a pretty hard hit, I'd say. Not really sure how that happened, if he just slid up in the corner, but tough break for both drivers for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be quite a lot of damage to some of these guys. And Paul Boswell is going to get the lucky dog. He was involved in that wreck, though. He's got a little bit more right front damage. But several cars receiving substantial damage in this this last accident.
As the pace car will go around one more time at Lanier. They will be coming down pit road here and turning it back to a green flag, and we will be back to racing. And it's crunch time here in this race. You really just got to go. And for these drivers in the front who want to get that win and want to get around these drivers, it's definitely this restart's very important. Don't spin your tires, don't get down on the apron, and don't get caught sleeping here as the pace car pulls in. The 46 is away, and so is the rest of the field.
Inside 20 to go here, 150 laps almost in the books, but Jared Boreos is once again your leader. Here comes the 24, Ryan Borges, but I do have to note, we did not document this before the previous caution came out. The first car on 4 fresh tires is the 29 of Dale Owen. Your top 3 stayed out. Dale's on fresher tires, and he's trying to get underneath Ryan Borges. But if he's going to make anything work with those fresher tires, he has to get a nose under and make it work.
And we're getting close to 10 laps to go, and I'd say if you haven't made that pass or gotten to his back bumper with about 4 laps to go, you aren't going to be able to do it. You can give him the chrome horn, you can, shove him around a little bit, but do you really want to do that, especially if you're going to be racing these drivers in 1 or 2 more races here tonight, which a lot of these guys are. The number 46 is looking strong in that inside line. You saw the previous lap, the number 2 really dove it in there on the corner trying to make something happen. But he's got Ryan Borges in that 24 right behind him. And Ryan Borges, we see him in the Upper Edge Racing League that we cover. And he is just not a guy that will give up easy. And the number 28, you said, Shane, he's got 4 fresh Goodyears, but it's not really seeming to get him anywhere because he can't make the pass. We got a car going around.
We stay green, nothing from the race officials. And now another car goes around. It's Garrett Stobar. He stopped on the inside, and there's the caution.
As we take a look at what happened to Garrett, he will be the cause of the caution. A couple cars got around in front of him. They got it collected, and then he cuts down in front of the number 87, and that sends him down into the inside wall. Derek Holzhausen had nothing to do with that. The 32, Garrett, just came right down in front of him and put himself into that inside wall. So now with 10 laps to go, this final restart's going to be really exciting, Shane. And, I mean, it'll be the last restart probably of the race. We'll have to see here. This is all or nothing for Jared, Heath, Ryan, and Dale. All 4 of those top 4 drivers have a chance at it. Even that 5th-place driver, Kyle Holzhausen, who's had a tough night so far in this race, he's got a chance at making something happen. We'll just have to see if he can do it.
Yeah, really, it's going to have to come down to this restart. Jared's been perfect all night when it comes down to getting up to speed after the pace car pulls in, and if he does the same thing, I'm pretty sure he won't have much competition, and he will take home the victory in tonight's late model feature. But that doesn't need to say that something could happen. Heath Smith, Ryan Borges, Dale Owen, all right there. Even Kyle Holzhausen, not out of the equation just yet.
And now that we are 10 laps to go here, and now 9 laps, so with the pace car crossing the line there, we've had a pretty exciting race so far. From the drop of the green flag, we've seen these 3 drivers that are up towards the front. I mean, I guess not really Ryan Borges. Ryan had a different journey, I'd say, to the front than any of the guys that are up there. He's been involved in one caution, and he's made his way back up to the front, so we'll have to see if he can make something happen here on this final restart.
They're actually going to send the 32 of Garrett Stobar around the pace car because they say at the point of caution he was in the lead lap. It was actually showing him 1 lap down, so he will get the free pass, and that will straighten out that ruling.
And now that the field is doubled up, we will be taking the green flag very shortly here for what I do predict to be the final restart of the race. Like I said, it's all or nothing for these drivers up towards the front. We'll have to see if the number 46 can retain that inside line, retain that lead. He's definitely led way over halfway this race. He's led 123 of 143 laps, and now completing another, it'll be 124 laps. So the number 46, Jared Boreos, has definitely been the fastest car all night long. Heath Smith has been right there with him, and now they've got Ryan Borges there, who is in the second best place on this restart on that inside line. He's going to have to get it, and he's going to have to get going as fast as he can if he wants to make something happen here on this start. Heath Smith is in the same situation here as the pace car pulls in. We are ready to take the green flag. The 2 jumps it a little bit, and he's going to get caught having to check up there. The number 24, Ryan Borges, didn't get the start that he needed, and he's going to get past on the outside. The number 2 will retain that spot. Dale Owen in the wall there on this restart. Heath Smith trying to track down the number 46 there in the lead. He's got 6 laps to do it. Will he be able to do it as they cross the line? 5 laps to go.
Dale Owen in the wall again. He just can't quite find his rhythm right now. They're fighting for the 5th spot, because that actually was the fight for 4th, but now 5th as Kyle Holzhausen takes that spot. Jared Boreos running good. Heath Smith's got to make it happen now because they're running out of time.
And coming with 3 laps to go, the number 2 is getting very close. He drives it through the corner as hard as he could. He's going to have to pay for that coming off the corner. He's going to be coming to the line with 2 laps to go. That Gale Force Monte Carlo, the 46 goes all the way out to the wall. He's going to have the run going through 1 and 2. The number 2, Heath Smith, on that inside line. He's not getting the run. He's not quite getting there. And we're going to be crossing the line. 1 lap to go here at Lanier for the first race of 3 of the night in this late model car. The number 2 is not going to quite get there unless he can make something happen in this final corner. Jared Boreos will come around the corner on this final lap, and he will cross the line, and he will be the winner here.
Jared Boreos, your winner of the late model feature here for Oktoberfest. And what a strong showing by him. Led most of the race, and just a picture-perfect event for him, and he takes home the victory. Coming home 2nd, Heath Smith. 3rd, Ryan Borges to complete your podium.
And what a race that was. We saw a pretty good battle for the lead here at the end of the race. And then you've got Kyle Holzhausen there in 4th and Dale Owen in 5th. And then there in the number 6 plot, you've got the 87 of Derek Holzhausen in 7th, Douglas Nelson in 8th, Paul Boswell in 9th, Anthony Mahone. And then rounding out the top 10, you've got the number 32, and he will be the final top 10 car there. And now that this first race is over, it's just a matter of time before we get racing once again here at Lanier as we continue the Oktoberfest event for the Major League Sim Racing series. And it's going to be an exciting night. We're only a third of the way complete, and as the 46 will celebrate his very well earned race win here at Lanier. What did you think? What did you think there, Shane, on that final restart? Did you think anyone had anything for him, or?
Honestly, I thought Jared Boreas, knowing the kind of driver he is and how dominant he was in that entire race, I didn't have any doubts. I mean, he seemed perfect. All he had to do was pretty much step on the gas. This is a limited late model, so not quite as much power as we're going to be seeing coming up next here. But it's really just a great job by Jared. Heath was really fast tonight, just not quite good enough, though, to beat Jared. And I think Jared, by far, the most deserving of the victory tonight.
Yeah, for sure. He led a lot of laps, like I said, Shane, and it'll just be a short while again before we go racing again here. And we've got a lot of good names. We've got 13 drivers on the entry list as far as I know, and it's looking to be a good race. They'll be using, or excuse me, no, they'll be using the super late models for that second race there, and it's going to be a good race. And have you ever raced the super late models here, Shane?
I have not. In official series, I have not raced the super late model here. I have, although, tested the super late model at several short tracks, and I can tell you it is a drastic difference compared to the limited late model. Super late models, that is something with power, and you're going to need to keep the car underneath you the entire night. A lot easier to burn away those rear tires if you're over aggressive, so it definitely takes a lot more skill to drive that car.
And to confirm it here, the national car will be next here at 6:45 Eastern Time, 5:45 Central, and that is just a matter of 40 minutes away. We'll be going back live at about 6:35 here on Checkered Flag Interactive. I don't know if Shane Doherty will be sticking around, but we do plan on having another guest up here in the booth, Dennis Pavel, as long as things go well, and then we'll be taking it for 175 in the national car, 175 laps, and then at 8:30 p.m. we've got 250 laps in the super late models. So don't go away, take a break, go have some dinner, but we will be back very shortly for Checkered Flag Interactive's coverage of the Major League Sim Racing Oktoberfest event here at Lanier. Don't go away, we'll be back in just a little bit.